So, I want to share a story with you guys that maybe you guys don't know about. Back in 2023, I took a course for manifesting. And I got in the class to basically learn how to manifest my best life, right? All the material things. Money, house, dream life, etc. But I didn't realize that the whole manifestation class, that it was going to have any type of healing in it, because that's not what I had signed up for. I didn't realize that. So I went through the class and I did it, and there was a lot of journaling, self-reflection, meditations, and just going inward and becoming aware of yourself, right? Myself. So why am I telling you this? Well, let's back up before I actually did the class. So in my 20s, I would say I was a social drinker. I drank for fun, mostly. And then fast forward to 2017, I was going through a lot at that point in time. And I was going through a divorce. And that was my choice, okay? Just so we're clear. It was my choice. Because at that point, I was very unhappy with a lot of things. I felt like, communication was bad. I was unhappy with where I was living at the time, which was, I was in Europe, London, actually. But I was back and forth between London, parts of Europe, and the States for most of my 20s, which was fun. I would not change that for the world. And 2017, 2017, I decided I wanted a divorce. So 2017 to 2019 it took that whole time because I had gotten married in a different country. So through that time, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking every weekend, just about. Anytime I went out to a restaurant, I would always order beer or wine, or maybe a mixed drink, but it was a lot of wine or beer. And it was no problem for me to drink 2 bottles of wine, in a night, right? No problem. And I was doing that very often. Okay, and I kept that up, even right up until I took that course in 2023. And I realized, this is now 2025, I realized that I do not drink as much. Sure, I enjoy a glass of wine, or a mixed drink, or even a beer. But it's not every weekend. It's not every time I go to a restaurant. I'll just order food, right? And I will also say that during those periods of time from 2017, when I was drinking very heavily, I was also not eating. I didn't want the food to affect my buzz, right? So I wouldn't eat. But that would backfire because after I'm done drinking, I go home, or I'm, about to go to bed or whatever, I'm going in the kitchen and I am binge eating whatever is convenient, easy, right there in front of my face, right? So chips, cookies, cereal, who knows, right? Just whatever was literally right there. So I was doing all this, not understanding that I have a problem, not understanding that I am using alcohol as a coping mechanism, or to numb my feelings, right? To not face my feelings that I was feeling at that time. So, going through the program in 2023 and doing all that self-healing work, self-reflection, lots of journaling, as I've stated. 2025, I'm looking back. Something healed in me, right? I cannot pinpoint the exact moment or the exact thing or what journal prompt or which meditation or which self-reflection awareness tool that was the thing that cleared whatever needed to be healed in me, but it cleared. And I never expected to not drink like I was, right? And I never called myself an alcoholic, although I did joke. I said, I don't have a problem. The only problem I have is when the bottle is empty. Like, I would just joke about that, right? But that's a problem. That's literally a problem. When you're craving alcohol, when you're wanting that numbing feeling, when you don't want to face whatever it is, whether it's feelings, a situation, whatever it is, right? And you're turning into alcohol was my drug of choice. That's not healthy. That's not healing in a way. That is literally masking your problems in a very unhealthy way. So, if you are struggling, and you might not even know or realize that you are, because like I said, I didn't realize I had a problem. I didn't think it was a problem. But if you are noticing that you drink more than you should, and you're doing it constantly, consistently, whether it's every weekend or every night you get off of work, or every time you go out, whatever it is, if you are noticing that you're drinking too much, I would suggest you go inward and you self-reflect and you start asking yourself some hard questions. Look, healing ain't gonna be pretty, okay? Let me just say that. You are going to cry. You are going to have days that you feel melancholy and depressed and like, what the hell, right? But if you are crying and you do feel melancholy and you do feel a little sad, that is you healing. That is you actually moving that energy out of your body. And that's what we want. Because when energy is stuck in your body, that's when you have disease. Literally dis-ease, right? There's disease in your body. And it will manifest into other problems. So, sun here. So, what are some ways that you can move this energy? like I said, you can start with journaling. You can dance. Dance is a great way to move energy around your body. You can try Reiki if that's your thing. You can meditate. And if you're just starting out meditating, I will say you're going to have what I call the monkey chatter in your brain. Okay, that's just how it is. You're going to be questioning, am I doing this right? What should I do? Like your mind is just going to go through a bazillion different thoughts. But that's okay. If you keep trying and you keep showing up for yourself every day, and you will eventually be able to quiet your mind, even if it's for 5 seconds. You've done it. Okay? You can also try sound therapy, which is what we at the Woo Woo do. We do sound healing. And our partner, Megan, who also owns Dreaming Wind Chimes, has made a sound bath specifically for addiction. Drinking addiction specifically. But it could be for any addiction. And I will link her YouTube to either the comments or here where you're watching this, or somewhere. It'll be somewhere wherever you're watching this. This is a completely free sound bath. It's literally on her YouTube page. So if you guys want to start healing but don't know where to start, I would suggest checking her sound bath out, listening to it for a couple of days, give it even a month, and see what changes for you. I hope this helps. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we will see you next time.